In this video, I will cover the basics and more intricate details of a desktop alert as a notification channel. This is the module that started it all, included in every DeskAlert package. In a nutshell, the desktop alert is a perfect tool to deliver important highlights that require immediate attention from the message recipient, for cases when you can't justify distracting them from whatever they're doing at the moment. Mechanically, the desktop alert is a modal topmost window on a person's screen, which means that it stays on top of any other open applications regardless of user interaction with different windows, like this. Let's take a closer look at the desktop alert creation page. The topmost part of the page contains quick links to different kinds of pop-up messages, namely scroll and ticker and RSVP alert. These will be covered in their own separate videos. Looking down, you can see two large inputs, one containing the message title and the other one containing the message content. The title is a bit similar to the email subject. The message content is basically the body. The content editor has a variety of controls, letting the message publisher style the text part of the message, as well as provide media entries, such as images and tables, possibly adding links to external resources, or attaching documents that are meant to be shared with all message recipients. It maintains the media library of all the entries submitted by other content creators, so they are free to choose among the existing ones or upload their own. Under the hood, the message is based on HTML, so anything you could have put in an email can also be used as a desktop alert body. If you have a web designer on your end, or are used to utilizing HTML templates for your internal newsletters, like this, same sort of content can be used within desktop alerts. The source code editor, this one, lets you copy and paste your HTML snippets right into the message. This tiny window can seem not very comfortable for editing these large messages, so there's a full screen mode available for people planning to create something massive. Now, to the right of the content editor, you can see two important controls. One lets you pick from the existing message templates in the system. The message templates can be created by other users of the system. Some of them are predefined and coming with the package out of the box. The message templates are a very convenient tool if you find yourself in a situation when you send a lot of similar content. For instance, if you're using the desk alerts to inform people about the service disruptions, a template like this would be in order, letting the content creator just fill in the blanks and basically send the message as is. The click here to change skin control here lets you change the message design template. The design templates basically change the look and feel of the software visually. So the different colors, little different schemes can be used to either identify the message priority or identify the message sender in the event the system is being used by several departments at once. Once done with the message content itself, the alert settings to the bottom let you change the behavior and the invasiveness of the message a bit. The default values for this are controlled by your system administrator, but obviously you can change the values for each particular case. Let's pick these features one by one. So the high priority message. This is used when your message is severe enough to be delivered even to people who have opted out of receiving non-urgent stuff. The client application may have an option for people to temporarily opt out of receiving things that are not urgent, and the high priority alerts will drill down through that. The high priority messages can also be displayed over the screen of a locked workstation, assuming that your license includes the module for this. Up next, the acknowledgement option is one of the most often used ones. This lets you request reading confirmation from the end user once they receive a message. Ticking the acknowledgement option will actually remove the X button at the corner of a message, allowing the person to only close it by hitting the special OK button at the very bottom of it. This postpone control may allow a person to actually delay responding to a message, but it's completely up to you whether this option is available to the end user. For the high priority messages, for instance, you can disable the postpone option completely, basically forcing people to comply with everything you send them. Let's leave this option on so you can see how the delivery report changes. Up next, the self-destructing alert option was initially designed for companies utilizing the software in thin client environments. When you don't have a lot of space to spare on the client machines, the self-destruction option ensures that no data is saved on the end-user workstation after the message has been displayed and closed. The auto-close option is a little bit different, and it can be used in two main use scenarios. The auto-close, without allowing the manual one, basically forces the message to stay on screen for a certain period of time. When combined with a full screen message, you're basically creating a very invasive message that stays on screen for a minute or two, forcing people to read it because they have nothing else to do. While the auto-close message with the manual close option is the least invasive of them all. It basically gives a person only a tiny window in which they can interact with the message before it's gone. The lifetime option is usually set up by default, and it's important to have it here because very few messages that you are going to send to your staff are going to be relevant forever. Most of the messages are only relevant today or a fixed period of time, and the lifetime does exactly that. It ensures that the people who were not online during the period important for you will not get any messages. So imagine a person returning from their 2-week vacation. They have no need in the messages outlining the service outages and disruptions and programs that were running last week. The lifetime ensures that all the messages which were relevant last week have expired last week and will not be displayed the next one. Last in this section is the ability to add a print button to your alert. In case some kind of company policy prescribes you to have a printable version of all your communications, this is what's gonna save you. Up next, the alerts can be scheduled. So not every communication has to be sent out straight away. Sometimes you need to prepare for them in advance, and the schedule alert allows you to do just that. So if you have a message that will be relevant tomorrow afternoon, you can schedule one for tomorrow afternoon. There is also a possibility to create recurring messages, so messages that will happen every few days or weeks or months. This is great for any sort of planned maintenance, for instance. So a typical use case is when you're performing some maintenance of the systems over the weekend, but are worrying about people who happen to be working on the weekends. Coincidentally, the same kind of people who hate to lose their progress. So you can create a message that will recur weekly over the weekends during a certain time, let's say, and therefore will only be seen by people who happen to be working at the time, informing them that the systems are being maintained and asking them to save their progress. Other people who just are working Monday till Friday will never see the message, will not be aware of its existence. So most messages are still going with a lifetime though. Up next, in the alert appearance section, you can define what is the size of the alert pop-up window and where it will be positioned upon actually being delivered. The full screen option is also here. The full screen option is sort of a unique case that can be used to effectively block a person's access to their own workstation. If your message is that critical and severe that you can justify completely stopping their work and processing its tracks. When creating a message, it is highly advised to use the preview option from time to time to verify that your content is actually looking like you want it to. So for instance, if I would have a longer text here, it would make sense to make the window height a little larger. Once the alert appearance is taken care of, the messaging channels are what allows you to create little copies of the message and send them through the backup channels like email or text messages. And finally, the device types determines how this message will be received. So we were talking about the desktops, but well, there are still mobile clients existing for DeskAlert system, which receive the messages in about the same way. And that's pretty much all there is about the desktop alert options. Now just a few use cases besides the actual service disruption thing I keep mentioning. This sort of invasive communication is often used during company changes, like office moves, mergers, acquisitions, to keep employees posted on the current state of events. Besides that, it also can be used as a medium to promote your internet resources, driving more staff to utilize them through links, obviously. Acknowledgement option makes the desktop alert very efficient at informing people about policy changes, allowing you to quickly gather information from staff and use the reports to hold them accountable in case of policy breach. In the event of an emergency, the full-screen pop-ups can ensure that people have the necessary information on how to act, with the convenient side effect of not being able to use their workstations and waste any time because of it. Anyway, this is more suited towards the emergency alerts, which will be covered in their own video. And that's it for this one.